My first poem is called Blue You. It's about a close friend. We painted your body blue because we wanted to. We sat you down with sand on our face we drew. We wanted to. And we danced, moved our arms and hair in the air and moved slow like water around you. We wanted to. We put eggs in your hair through pudding on you. I was wearing a white tank top, it got on me too. You are beautiful, and we ruined you. We wanted to. Afterwards, you tried to hose it off, you jumped in the pool. Tiny bits of eggshell stayed in your hair, that section of your scalp remained blue. You complained even though you knew that it was special, and we didn't have to. But we wanted to. When I drove home, it was away from us, from the sand, from you. You soon left too to start anew. I do love you, and on that tank top there will always be a streak of blue. My brother draws his hands. He collages them, rips them, paints them, sculpts them. He sands them, grinds them, waxes them, molds them from fire and water, paper and pencil. He sits, his white drafting table an oasis of light in a room of blackness and bleakness, memories of stale smoke, ghosts of once hidden cans of nitrous oxide in glass bottles. My brother draws his hands. My mother works in the garden. With her own hands, she draws weeds from marigolds, daylilies, gladiolas, salvia. She plants rosemary and basil, tomatoes and jalapeno peppers. My stepfather likes things spicy. Her potter's wheel sits in the garage so her pottery won't crack from the Texas summer sun, penetrating, unforgiving. With those same hands, she shapes vases and bowls, odd organics that barely balance on flat surfaces, too delicate to hold heavy objects. Some afternoons, she enters from the back door to re-ice the sweating water glass, and her hands are like pottery themselves, bone dry with dust, sun-browned skin and manicured nails hidden beneath a ceramic glove of slippery, hardening clay. My father fixes old receivers. He would call them vintage. He buys them offline at a fraction of the price he would later sell them for, and he repairs them, breathes life into their once worn tubes, replaces missing capacitors, polishes dull lacquer. Often he grows to like one so much he keeps it. He'll rave about its unique sound quality and then play music from it constantly for a week to prove his point. Because of this, his house is filled with them, stacks of them, each one worth double, triple the price of purchase. Brands, Yamaha, Harman Kardon, Nakamichi, Scott, and Sherwood fill empty rooms of his empty house. With expert fingers, he perfects their silver knobs, complex, capricious innards, precious wooden cases. He grumbles about today's modern sound systems, plastic parts, cheap metals, technologies that may be superior, but have lost their original purpose, their truth. What made man fall in love with music? That he could listen to 100 songs at the click of a button, listen to it in the car, on the road, in the sky, while taking a picture, getting directions, or playing Tetris on the same portable device? A music player has only one purpose. A chipped chrome knob accidentally drops from his hand, rolls off the counter, hits the floor with a ping, metal on tile. Music. Miles and miles away in my mother's house, music does play. Not what my dad considers music, not the kind heard on his fancy sound systems. While my father stands in his kitchen, surrounded by majestic yet silent music machines, my mother's house buzzes with the sounds of family, friends, children, hands. On her bed across the room, my sister softly swoons. Her body is a wonderland, long, slender fingers plucking out love songs for no one. Her fingers are magical, flying. Did I tell you I can see the light that surrounds her? She draws her hands across the guitar like a lover. They are smooth, fingers thin, nails shapely. I like my hands, she once said. They're the only good part of my body. Across town, my dad stands in his silent kitchen working on a receiver. This one is cloudy with oxidation. He surrounds it with newspaper, applies toxic chemicals by spray bottle to reveal its glossy brown exterior. Paper towels wipe away excess. Back to my mother's house, kids splash in the pool and then take to the trampoline. They jump rhythmically, hair slapping cheeks like wet leaves. The elastic tarp hardly yields under so many bodies. They stomp around upstairs, shake the chandelier. Below their stomping is my mother standing in the kitchen. Now she's chopping onions and tomatoes. She lifts her face and the light catches it. My stepdad is across the room, also playing his guitar. He catches her eyes, they smile. Children float around, light-footed but somehow heavy. And my brother is still in his room, still drawing his hands. He draws them constantly, never settling, always changing. using the same hands that once popped bottles and lit pipes to create. His creativity resembles my mother's, who watches the dark nature of his artwork from a distance, never saying anything, with a subtle fear. Fear of his past, fear for him. And so she returns to the garden, to the sun. She raises plants, which, unlike suns, are predictable and nurtured easily. Her own artwork turns out exactly as she intends. Her pottery is organic, but once dried it is stiff, only capable of holding small, light objects. My brother spun off that potter's wheel while her loving fingers had only begun to shape him, flinging slick gray globs of clay in every direction, spraying my mother in the face. He crashed, smashed, shattered, formed his own obscene shape before becoming completely dry. Unglazed, he holds infinite weight. And me? My own hands? Caressing, scratching, touching, loving, what else can hands do? With these hands, I create my own somethings out of nothing. With these hands, I reach for my family, my friends. I want to hold them, hold their faces in my hands, hold the world in my hands. I want to hold their hands. They have such strange hands, reaching for each other, pushing away. What brings them together? What pulls them apart? Their own hands, hands of others? What are they escaping from? I think of my father, in a house full of machines that make the most beautiful sounds. My father stands silently, tinkers with his receivers. Imagine if they were all turned on at the same time. All those stacks, Marantz, Yamaha, Sherwood, every single one. Dark wood like old photographs, a sleek silver knob, a pulsing blue light. My sister draws her fingers across the guitar like a lover. My mother strokes the cheek of her son, once a boy, a hopeful bud in a strange ceramic pot, now a man. My father changes the fuse, igniting a tiny fluttering spark. My hand is on the knob. What a beautiful sound it could be. Thank you.